A lot of people are kind of trying to sell you the lifestyle, a fake lifestyle.
BS capital of the world.
If you're going into it for the wrong reasons, which most people are,
They're full of shit.
because what do I actually think about this lifestyle?
Can you stop? Okay, let's record this video. So that video was from about a year ago, and it almost has 100,000 views now. So I thought I'd do a follow-up, and this is at the end of year 2. Do I still think the same things? What other stuff do I want to add? And a lot of the things I'm gonna say are gonna sound like I'm trying to discourage you from being a digital nomad. That's not true at all. So before I say anything else, let me preface this by saying I still think everyone should try out this lifestyle. I am extremely grateful that I could live this lifestyle. I'm having the time of my life, and I really think that in my later years of life, I'm gonna look back at this time and look at it fondly as the best time of my life. So let's start talking some shit. So expectations versus reality. The term that I always hear from people that want to become digital nomads is that they want to be around like-minded people, somewhere where they can lock in, really focus on their business, really focus on making money, and just be in an environment where they could thrive professionally and financially. So we got to unwrap this term, like-minded people. I always ask people that use that term, what do you mean by like-minded people? And nobody can ever tell me. Because like-minded people can mean anything. Like, if I was a raging racist, like-minded people would be other raging racists. If you're someone that's super lazy, then like-minded people are other people that are super lazy. However, everyone uses this generic term of like-minded people, and it kind of seems like everyone's talking about the same type of person though. So if I really think about it and try to break it down, I think what people are talking about when they say like-minded people is they're actually talking about successful people. They're talking about people who they aspire to have that sort of lifestyle. People that are financially successful. It sounds like they have all their shit together. They seem like they have a good life. They're happy, they're healthy, and it's just kind of like the ideal lifestyle that a lot of these people aspire to. So if you think about it, they're not really looking for like-minded people. They're looking for people that they want to be like. They're looking for successful, happy people that look like they're living a good life. And part of that image of this person is, drinking coconuts on the beach and working from your laptop and being in really good shape and making a ton of money. But when you really break it down like that, it really opens your eyes and changes your perspective. Now, there's a lot of problems around the statement of being around like-minded people. The first thing is, to be honest, digital nomads are not really digital nomads anymore. The term digital nomad gets thrown around so much that it kind of encompasses the entire foreigner community. Like, let's take Da Nang for example. I would say about 10% of people here maybe fit neatly into that definition of a digital nomad. However, we kind of use that digital nomad term to describe all foreigners that are not native Vietnamese here. First, you have the true expats. The true expats are people here that see themselves living here for the rest of their lives. They're integrated into society. They have citizenship. They have a long-term visa. And surprisingly, the longer I'm here, the more I'm realizing how big of a population that this group is. Now, these true expats, they don't really call themselves digital nomads, but they kind of get lumped in by outside people. The second group, I don't have a name for these people. I just call them like kind of expats, but not really. I'd put myself in this category. So kind of expat, but not really, is someone like me. I have a 5-year visa here. I can stay here legally long term. I can open businesses here. I can open bank accounts. I can do all that stuff. I'm married to a second generation Vietnamese, and then all of our family lives here as well. I'm not integrated into society in the sense that I don't work here. I don't employ people here. I don't go to school here, but I do have family here, so I'm integrated into society in that sense. And I differentiate this category because we're here long term, but we're probably gonna go back eventually. And even though I'm in this kind of expat but not really category, I would consider myself a digital nomad in the broader definition of the term. And I have a lot of overlap with other digital nomads that are here long term as well. The only difference is that I have a visa, so I don't have to do visa runs, and they have to do visa runs every 90 days, but I know people that have been here for years doing visa runs on a tourist visa. They're digital nomads, but they've been here longer than me. And then now we're getting like super granular, and it doesn't really matter, but we have people that are slow mads, people that are in a city for 3 months at a time. They hop into the next city for 3 months, they hop to the next city for 3 months, and a lot of them, they'll double back. So they're nomadic, slowly, but they kind of have their favorite cities and they tend to go in a circle. So going back to the topic that you're gonna be around like-minded people. I think the biggest shock for me when I came to Da Nang was I didn't realize how many retired people that would be. Now, don't get me wrong, I love retired people. I love hanging out with them. I love listening to their stories, but it's definitely not like-minded people if you're thinking about career and you're hanging out with people that are done with their career, right? It's literally the opposite of a like-minded person here. So senior citizen retired people are obviously not working, but this brings me to another point, which is a big deal. Most non-senior citizen our age people are not working either. You would think that the definition of a digital nomad is that you're working remotely on a computer, and that's why I say this definition of a digital nomad is super blurry, is because a lot of these people, they're not working. Sure, sometimes they'll pretend to work or act like they'll work, they'll put in a couple hours a week, but for the most part, these people are living off of savings, which is totally fine. I have no problem with that. But for all intents and purposes, they're on vacation. To be honest, I'd probably even put myself in this like on vacation category. Like I feel like I'm on vacation. I mean, I probably work more than 99% of digital nomads, but compared to David in Los Angeles 5 years ago, I don't work at all. I'm just playing. It's the middle of the day right now. I'm talking to a camera. After I film this video, I'm probably gonna go to the beach and get a smoothie bowl. I'm not even kidding. Like, I am the stereotype in a lot of ways. So now you decided to be a digital nomad because you wanted to be around like-minded people that you could learn from, be inspired by, and just have a community or a tribe. I know they like to use the term tribe to feed off of, but I would argue that 90% of the people are either retired or on vacation. Now, you might be a digital nomad right now, and you might be saying that's not true. I always see people working on their laptops at cafes. First of all, go to the beach and see how many more people are at the beach than at the cafes. Secondly, most of the people that are working are kind of full of shit. Now, I said this in the last video, and I'll say it again. I don't care how much money you make. I don't care where you are at the stage of your career. And I honestly don't even care if you're faking until you're making it either. But I'm talking to the people that are aspiring to become a digital nomad, and they think that all these people are super successful because they're talking a big talk. They act like they make a ton of money. They act like they live this amazing lifestyle. But in reality, they're struggling to make $500 to $1,000 a month. Now, I know $1,000 a month means different things in different parts of the world, but $1,000 a month as an American, coming from the US, coming from the West, I think the poverty line in the US is like $2,500 or $3,000 a month. So if you're making $1,000 a month, if somebody is making $1,000 a month, they're not doing well right now. They're struggling, especially if they're struggling to scrape to $1,000 a month. They're not in a good spot. Again, I have to reiterate, I'm not talking shit about these people. I've been there. I've had peanut butter and saltine crackers for dinner before. I admire and appreciate anyone who's trying to make it and is putting in the work to do it. But one, they're not putting in the work to do it. They're working like 2 hours a week. And two, I just want to shatter the illusion. If these are the people that you're looking up to, these are the people that are putting videos out on TikTok, on Instagram, taking a picture of drinking a coconut on the beach with a beautiful sunset, surfboard, laptop, and saying, what's stopping you from working like this? I escaped the rat race. I left the US and I'm so much happier now. No one that has found happiness and peace in their life feel the need to let strangers on the internet know about it. I've been in Da Nang for almost 2 years now, and I've seen so many digital nomads, met so many digital nomads coming in and out, and the more I meet them, the more I see this pattern of some sort of deep-seated unhappiness and some sort of deep-seated insecurity. It's not everyone, but it's definitely way more people than it should be. A lot of people are running away from something, a lot of people are struggling with something, a lot of people are feeling insecure about where they are in life, and they're projecting this image of success and happiness to you guys, but for real, it's to themselves, and probably it's to help them cope. Now, it might seem that I'm being too harsh on digital nomads, but this advice goes for everything that you see on the internet. Everything that you see, nothing is as glitzy and glamorous as it seems. So, being a digital nomad seems like it sucks. It seems terrible. Why would you ever do it? Which brings me to part 2, why you should be a digital nomad. I think being a digital nomad is so much fun. It just comes down to that. It's fun. Like, why aren't you allowed to do things that are fun? You don't have to be successful. You don't have to make a bunch of money. You don't have to become like a better version of you. Just have fun. The disappointment in being a digital nomad comes when the expectation does not meet reality. When the expectation is, I'm going to be around these high performing, amazing, they have their entire life together people, and I will be able to also become a rich, successful, have my life together person, and that's the expectation coming in, then you're gonna be wildly disappointed. But if the expectation is I can arbitrage my US dollars to be able to stretch it a lot further, I can travel the world, meet different people, learn different cultures, eat different cuisines, and it'll actually save me money versus living at home. Through exploration, I'm not only gonna meet other people, but I'm gonna learn more about myself, I'm gonna grow as a human being, and I'm gonna have more experiences under my belt. These are the great things about being a digital nomad. And if this is something that you want to try out, you want to try becoming a digital nomad, and you want to learn more about being a digital nomad, then make sure to sign up for my course. Nah, I'm just kidding. Get that shit out of here. I'm gonna be in Ho Chi Minh City next week, guys. I'll see you guys next week. Peace.